Hi, everyone. Welcome to Indigenous Super Stars. I'm your host, Rhonda Head, and we have a really excellent show for you this evening. I just wanted to say I'm coming live to you from Bigatti, Manitoba, the heart of Opaskwayak Cree Nation in northern Manitoba. Oh, excuse me. I just want to let everyone know that we're streaming live on my Facebook page, on my fan page, on Indigenous Superstars group page, on YouTube, and on Twitter. And the show also gets uploaded to the Social Distance Powwow page, which has 2.5 thousand followers. So I want to thank the Social Distance Powwow Facebook page for supporting Indigenous artists all over the world. I just want to let you know that I submitted submitted to have a podcast on iHeartRadio. So I think it'll be about 2 weeks before I hear a reply. So crossing our fingers, but we're a podcast now on Spotify and Apple and people are starting to download the shows. And I want to thank everyone for downloading the past awesome Indigenous artists that I've had the pleasure of interviewing. And tonight before we get into our show, I just want to make a little announcement about myself. Last week, I got to witness the Prague Orchestra in Prague in Europe record my song Kisagitin in with the symphony, and it was so beautiful. It made me tear up a few times. It was when I got to witness one of my dreams come true, and the song is probably going to be ready, mixed and mastered within about 15 days, and then I gotta submit it for distribution. So it probably won't be ready to be listened to for the world to hear. Probably mid-November. That's when I'm going to release the song. So that's part of my excitement that happened to me this week. And I just want to say that we have a really special, exciting guests tonight. They're really good friends of mine, and their band name's called Twin Flames. And I'm just going to read their bio before I bring them onto the screen. Twin Flames band creates a sonic landscape that spans Canada and the Arctic. Honoring their ancestors, they sing songs in English, Inuktitut, and French. Consecutive year winners 2016 and 2017 of the Canadian Folk Music Award, Aboriginal Songwriters of the Year. The multi-award-winning husband and wife duo made up of Chelsea June and Yahe, both of Indigenous backgrounds. Yahe is Inuk and Mohawk from Nunavut, and Chelsea June is Métis and Algonquin Cree from Ottawa. Twin Flames push the boundary of contemporary folk with songs that incorporate both Western and traditional instruments. Despite popular opposite backgrounds, Twin Flames found a common musical language. Please welcome my awesome friends, Twin Flames. Hey.
How are we doing?
How are you? I can't hear you.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now?
A little bit. It's not that loud.
Hey.
I hear you. There you go.
Is this better now?
Yeah.
Way better. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
So good to see you.
Hi, Rhonda. So good to see you.
Yeah, you're looking good. Both of you.
You too.
Great. Thank you. So, I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, but before we get onto the questions, I just want to let the people tuning in that how we met. Remember we met at AMP Camp a few years ago, and we're all just emerging artists. And I heard you guys perform, and you just blew me away. And I remember I went to you aside and I shared some information on how to get your music out there. And and all your work and what you guys have done, like just totally exploded in the music scene. And I'm so proud of what you guys, what you've done, both of you've done, and your music is so beautiful. And I can't wait for the people tuning in to hear music that you're going to share with us.
Thank
Thanks so much, Rhonda. Yeah, it was already, I think it was in 2015 when we met at AMP Camp.
I think so, yeah.
And yeah, just loved you from the start. So I'm so happy that our journeys have reconnected us along the way and that we've been able to stay in touch all this time and watch your amazing journey in music as well. Congrats. We just love seeing everything that you do.
Oh, thank you very much.
And congratulations on that song being in a symphony in Prague. That's amazing. We love stories like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I cried when I was watching them perform my music. It was so amazing. It was incredible, and I can't wait to see hear the final outcome. And they're also doing a video for me, so I'm really excited for that release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in music? Like, what inspired you to get involved in music?
Go for it.
Me first?
Yeah, ladies first.
I think I always really loved music from the time that I was a baby, apparently, according to my parents. And, you know, I have amazing memories of being a little girl and sitting on that, you know, plush carpets that we had back in the day and listening to my parents' records, you know, at like 3 or 4 years old with the big headphone muffs on my ears and, you know, listening to Peter, Paul, and Mary leaving on a jet plane and, you know, Puff the Magic Dragon. There were just so many amazing, like Fleetwood Mac, just, you know, from such a young age. My mom tried to put me in all kinds of music stuff, but I have dyslexia in all three forms, so auditory, numerical, and written. So it was very difficult for me to learn how to read or write music, and I got discouraged very easily. And so music, it was kind of always there, but never fully there. I think it was always more in private as I got older. I struggled a lot with anxiety, social anxiety, shyness, and mental health, depression. So singing in front of people was never, ever something I thought I would ever be able to do. So I just would do it alone in my room as a way of like something that I love to do. And I never thought it could become something. But it was later in my life that I finally got the guts to do it and start writing songs. And it was after I had my children, and I really wanted them to know that if they had a dream, it didn't matter what obstacles were in the way, that those dreams are possible. And I never expected it to grow into what it has today, and to have met Yayi through music. And yeah, music has just been this driving force in my life. And when I look back, I'm so grateful that it has always been there with me in every single part.
And yeah, I think for myself, obviously the influences in music are very similar. My ex stepfather was an avid listener, and he had all kinds of CDs. At the time when CDs first came out, he right off the bat had probably about 500 CDs right away, and listening to the greats from the 70s and the 80s was obviously something that I grew up with, and I think that that just kind of transferred onto I guess our songwriting, and up to now, I think we still pay huge homage to that era of music, because now with everything that's being played out there, that's just repetitive stuff. I think for us, like we see a resurgence in Indigenous musicians and the amount of talent that is out there, and they're truly doing it, and we're so happy to be a part of all of that. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so true, and I'm glad you followed through with your singing, Chelsea. You have such a beautiful voice, and it's so true. Like with the Indigenous artists out there. They're so amazing. The stories that they share and the melodies that they compose. It's so beautiful, and we do have our own industry. And part of the reason why I started this show was so we could have another platform to share our music with the world, because people tune in from Australia and right across Canada and United States. So and the show is gaining more fans, and they're all loving all the musicians that I get to interview. It's been so much fun, and with that, we're gonna let the people tuning in get to hear your amazing singing and performing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can. Which ones do you want to do, love?
I think we could do Battlefields to start.
Yeah.
I had the capo. What did I do with the capo?
We should have been more organized. So I'll just chat really quickly. We just launched our brand new album, Omen. We were so excited. It was a tremendous thing to do during a global pandemic. And it was really difficult to get it all done and get it all done on time. We had to be really kind of thrifty and try and figure out a solution. So we ended up building a home studio, which is what you guys are seeing in back of us here. And we were able to finish the album. And it's just been such a blessing to get us through this time right now, where everything is so uncertain, especially, the music industry. It's just, we've been living, I guess, a ton of emotions lately. And just, I think the whole world is feeling all these emotions and all these things we've never felt before. And so Battlefields is the first single off of Omen. And it's a song that speaks to mental health and how we have to really fight battles within our own minds. I know for myself, that has been one of the hardest things in my life is just, battling that inner voice and that one that tells you you're not good enough or you're not going to make it. And I think especially in the music industry, we're kind of put on this, need to succeed. And I think in Omen, we touch on all of those different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Apologies, everyone. We were playing something else earlier today, and the guitar was in a different tuning.
If you know it, you can sing along. Maybe I haven't put in the time. Maybe I haven't paid my dues. This life full of deception, which reflection is true? In search of the answers, what's wrong and what's right, pursuit of perfection, got a battlefield in my mind. We've all I'm trying to lead a good life. I'm fighting on the inside. Unata ko nga. Unata ko nga.
Unata ko nga imtakani. Unata ko nga sumagan. Unata ko nga tamiran. Unata ko nga matigani. Unatako nga isumaga. I'm trying to lead a good life. I'm fighting on the inside. Unatako nga isumagani.
We've all got battlefields in our minds. Thoughts are racing and intertwined. We've all got battlefields in our minds. Things we run from and leave behind. We've all maybe I haven't put in the time. Maybe I haven't paid my dues. Deception, which reflection is true. We've all got our battlefield.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Hearing that. Your harmonies are like exceptional. I love the way you guys sing harmony. Just beautiful.
Thank you so much, Rhonda.
So I want to talk to you about or ask you a question about singing in your language. So how does that make you feel to sing in your language?
I mean, obviously, there's a tremendous amount of pride, especially when it reaches the Inuktitut-speaking people. But for me, when I sing it, obviously, I don't really think when I write, and it just kind of pops out the way it does. And so it is a form of expression, obviously, and just kind of like popping out with a word that is kind of relating with whatever I'm thinking about or singing about, and picking up the guitar. The guitar is often the one that draws out the words, right? So it just kind of like happens. And when it is a finished product, obviously, if I feel very happy that another Inuktitut song is out there. We are truly proud to be who we are and where we are. But first and foremost, we often think about how we all have a platform and we all come from somewhere. And being human is first and foremost. And a form of expression, it just happens to be with whatever you grew up with. And that translates into even how you perceive yourself as a person. Whether you're in English or French or whatever language that may be, in Cree. I think it is just an extension to the conversation that was at home.
That's awesome. Are you fluent in your language?
I am. Yeah, I grew up with Inuktitut. I never grew up with my Mohawk language. My grandfather did speak here and there. I mean, he spoke the language fluently, but he spoke only here and there, and I was only with them during the summer, and often I was outside most of the time, so I never got to really pick that language up. But Inuktitut is something that, especially from where I come from, it is linguistically very strong, and we got scolded by our elders if we said something wrong.
I think that happened right across Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's amazing. Like for myself, I don't speak my Algonquin language. It's been lost in my family for many generations. On our new album, Omen, I actually attempted to sing the water song, which is called Nibi, and I had incredible Indigenous women join me on that album. And so it was a huge part of reclamation for myself. I feel extremely honored and privileged to sing in Yayi's language, in Inuktitut. And every time I just, I fell in love with the language and the way that it sounds, and the syllables, and how they just match so perfectly with music. And it's amazing because when we write songs, as Yayi said, we don't necessarily sit down and say we're going to write about this. It's just, he'll start strumming on a guitar on a tune, and then he'll sing in Inuktitut, and then I join in English or French. And it's always so neat to see that even though I don't necessarily understand the language, the subject matter is always the same. And so it's been always a fun experiment to see how that happens. And I'm starting to understand Inuktitut more and more. And I hope that by us sharing the Inuktitut language together, that we can show kids that have lost their languages that it's never too late, and music is an awesome way to try and learn or reclaim a language.
That's for sure. That's how I don't speak Cree fluently, but my language started coming back to me when I started um, writing my music in the Cree language. So I totally get what you're saying, and I love singing in the Cree language. I find like there's a spirit when you sing in your Indigenous language, and it's beautiful. So there's a question that I'm dying to ask you, and I'm sure the audience wants to know: where did you both meet? You're both beautiful people, and your voices just mesh together well. Like how did this come about?
I'm gonna let her talk about this one. She's usually better at storytelling.
Thank you, Rhonda. Yai and I, as I mentioned, I recorded my first album in 2013, and it was in a basement of a producer's house. And he even built the vocal booth so I didn't have to see anybody, because even just looking at the producer was too scary for me at the time. So anyways, I never expected that album to go anywhere, but it ended up on a producer's desk for a television show that was being filmed for APTN, and it's called TAM. It was Talent Autochtone Musicaux, which is Aboriginal talent or Indigenous talent.
Indigenous showcasing.
Yeah, Indigenous showcase of musicians. Mm-hmm. And so neither of us were supposed to be there. Yai was touring the Arctic as his solo act at the time, and he had to switch the dates. And I had missed the email for the casting call. And I didn't even know I was going to get that kind of casting call. So I had phoned the lady back and I said, I missed this email. I'm a month too late. And she said, I'm so sorry. All the places are taken. We'll keep you in mind for next year. And I just, right before she hung up, I said, if there's ever a cancellation, let me know and I can be there. And it's about a 5-hour drive from Ottawa to Quebec City. And so I wasn't expecting anything. And I was kind of having one of those days where you're self-loathing, like on the couch feeling sorry for myself. And my phone rang a week later, and it was the lady saying there had been a cancellation. Could I be in Quebec City the next day for filming? And so I packed my mom up in the car. My dad babysat my kids, and Yayi was switched to that same date. And so that night we met the cast, the crew, everybody was around a campfire in Wendake at this incredible hotel. And everybody was just jamming, and Yai was singing a cover song.
Outside by Stained.
Outside by Stained.
Yeah.
And I happened to know it too. So I just joined in, and our voices kind of met before we did. We didn't even know each other's names. And it was pretty special. I think we both kind of took a step back and were like, usually harmonies are something people have to work really hard at. And I think for Yaya and I, it's always been one of those things that's funny, not funny, but it's like, wow, like how did he know that my voice was going to go there, or my voice knew his was going to go there? And it almost feels like we're cheating in that way in music.
Awesome. Incredible. So how did you come up with your band name, Twin Flames?
We kind of it kind of started when we started to feel the summer coming on, and we knew that that there was going to be some touring involved, and because Chelsea was a government worker at the time, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, and she wasn't sure either. So she was kind of, I guess we were both kind of in angst, and I said, "Why don't you just come with me?" And so when that happened, we were kind of like, okay, now that's going to happen. What are we going to call ourselves? So we just kind of started to him and ha and joked around, and ended up feeling as though, because our lives were very similar, we Googled just for fun. Soulmates was a bit, I don't know, cheese.
Mhm.
It was a bit too cheesy.
If there's a band called Soulmates, we're sorry.
Yeah, I have no filter sometimes. So so we kind of looked around, and it just seemed too on the nose, I guess, and there was something much bigger, and that was called Twin Flames. So we looked at that and said, okay, that sounds cool.
It's cool because the fire as well, like Twin Flames has the significance of a couple,
Yeah.
but it also has the sacred fire, and we met around the fire.
Mhm.
So it had multiple meanings.
What ended up happens when we tour, especially in places that we've never been to. People think that we're twins. If we're related, if we're sister or brother and sister.
I know what twin flames means.
On the odd occasion, people even think we're WWE superstars that show up in the community. There's the tag team champions, Twin Flames. But yeah, it's something that kind of like stuck around right away, because of just our own life experiences.
Great. Well, there's a lot of people tuning in, and there's like a bunch of requests for a song. There's Tennessee,
Yeah.
Porchlight, and a lot of people are saying your music is magical, it's beautiful, and keep it up. It's awesome and soothing. And I just want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and getting to know Twin Flames a little bit more and getting to hear their awesome music. So with that, I'm going to give you the screen again. You can perform your second song.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Well, there's two requests. One of them, we're going to have to choose one of them. And unfortunately, the other one is going to have to maybe log on to a web site after. Which one do you want to do? Yeah, sure. So we're going to sing a song called Porch Light.
Which guitar do you need?
I have my guitar right here. I just need a cable. Oh, my God.
This is the real life of artists. We try to be super organized, but we're not.
COVID-19.
Right? It's like we're so used to a slower pace.
Yeah, we have everything so prepared all the time when we're touring, but when it comes to being home, we were in our pajamas and we just got back into clothing.
I think we all live in pajamas these days. At least I'm not wearing pajama pants, because you can kind of get away with that with the screen, right?
I'm actually going to take that guitar. I'm sorry, people.
All right. I'll talk about the song a little bit. Yeah. So it was a request. It's Porch Light. Porch Light is a song that we wrote kind of at the beginning of our journey. Our first album, which came out in 2015. And it was inspired by this incredible man that we met at the 2015 Indigenous Music Awards. And after Yayi won Indigenous Album of the Year, this man came up to both of us and said, "Can I take a selfie with you and my little sister?" And so Yayi and I, of course, were like super honored and just like, oh my gosh, as if someone wants their picture with us. This is so cool. And he said he'd be right back, but when he came back, we were expecting him to come back with his sister, and he actually came back with a photograph, and neither of us knew how to react to that. He just explained that his sister had been missing for over 20 years and he never had any answers. I mean, neither of us could even barely smile in that photograph. Like, it felt so unnatural, and just everything about it hurt our hearts. And I think so many issues that our people are facing every single day, it weighs very heavy on our hearts. And so music is our way of dealing with those emotions. And we hope with the songs that we write, we reach other people and help them in those times. And so Porch Light was written to honor all the families of the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls across Turtle Island, North America. And yeah, it's a very special song. It doesn't matter how many times we play it. We always feel honored that we were gifted this song from Creator, and we hope that it helps people.
I leave the porch light on just in case, hoping that door swings and I see your face, and I leave a man,
And I keep your photograph to this day, wishing and hoping that
you're okay, and I'm missing you now. I never want to down get Saho not till it out of so now I need to own it. Dahavunga was the same, love remains, all this hurts inside me. Call your name to this day, wish you were home beside me. We've left your bedroom in its place, posters and memories on erase. Standing in the doorway, I hold back my tears. Seems just like yesterday, although it's been years, and I'm missing you now. I never want to be down. Kids are going to delete down loud. So now I'm not down on it. Dahavunga was the same, love remains, all this hurts inside me. Call your name to this day, wish you were home beside me. I leave the porch light on just in case, hoping that door swings and I see your face, and leave around. I leave the porch light on just in case, hoping that door swings and I see your face, and leave around.
Oh, I love that song. Thanks for sharing it. Just makes me tear up all the time. Such a beautiful melody and sung with lots of passion. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, and apologies to everybody that obviously has been affected by this problem that should not be there. I mean, I think if we are loud enough and we continuously fight, we will finally be heard. Everything that's happening around the situation we have currently as well, that just adds to all the pain that reaches throughout the whole community, the whole province, the whole country, and the whole nation for that matter. So we just have to keep on being diligent about the message we send across.
That's right. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's such a beautiful song. Thank you for writing that and coming up with that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So where can we find your music on online?
So our website is www.twinflamesmusic.com. And even if you just Google search Twin Flames Music, you'll find us. We're on every platform, Spotify. If you're able to follow us on Spotify, please do so. The industry likes seeing those kinds of things. We have a YouTube channel as well, Twin Flames Music. We have lots of stuff on there. We've done documentaries on trips that we've taken, amazing tours that we've gotten to be on, and just music videos. We've got lots of stuff going on. We have our brand new store on our website as well, our Twin Flames store. And so people can order if they're still old school and still listen to CDs. We have lots of CDs still available. We're going to be unveiling our Omen t-shirts in a few days as well that will be available for order. So I think merch sales really help us in these times. I think as all musicians across the board, without touring, our lifestyles have really changed. So if anybody wants anything, we always super appreciate any kind of support. Even just a like on our Facebook page, Twin Flames Music, goes a super long way.
In this digital world, we have our download store as well. One other thing that we have, it's very limited because we're down to the maybe 10 or 15 cassettes left, and they're the USB cassettes. They're in the form of a cassette, and they have the Omen tracks on there with also the lyric book in there.
Yeah.
And also for those of you that do not listen to Spotify, not everybody likes Spotify. I mean, we're available all over, right down to SoundCloud. So we have free songs out there as well. So don't be shy to check those out as well. And for us, it's about just having people tune in and listen.
That's awesome. And I also started a excuse me. I also started a playlist on Spotify called Indigenous Super Stars, and I added your song "Human" to the playlist. So anyone out there want to go check out the awesome artists that I've interviewed so far? They're all on the playlist. So do you have any last parting words before we sign off?
I would just say, thank you so much for having us, Rhonda. This is incredible that you're giving Indigenous artists a platform. I think among Indigenous music, there needs to be a lot more kindness between artist to artist and less competition. And so what you're doing is truly beautiful. And we love your heart. We love that you're doing this, and continue doing that great work. And I think together as Indigenous musicians, if we make enough noise, the world eventually will no longer be able to ignore us. And so that's really the goal, the collective. And I would say to anybody tuning in, I hope that you're all safe and that you're finding ways that help your soul through this very challenging time. Mm-hmm. Anything to just change your mind, change your mindset, maybe shut off the news every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I know that's been really helping in our household to limit the amount of fear. But, we hope everybody stays safe during this time and that we make it out on the other side, and that people realize how important live music is now that they haven't been able to consume it face to face for a long time. So hopefully people will start taking that time out of their busy lives to come out to shows again and to support artists and remember how important music is, no matter what you're going through in life.
And it is something, music definitely is subjective. One of the things also, life is very subjective. And I think we can only control ourselves, what we do in life, and that we stay in our lane. We cannot control what the next household is doing. So the only thing we can really do is always ourselves. We work on ourselves, and we hope to be an example so that the next person will see that. And that's all we can do. That's all we can ever do. And to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in as well. We keep seeing the hey guys, we love you back, all of you, Leanne, Aaron, Cody. Take for all of you that don't know each other, that have tuned into today, everybody that you've seen on the screen, a lot of these are artists as well, and it's awesome to see other artists tune in and say, hey, and we gotta hold each other up high and be proud of each other.
Yeah.
Every Indigenous win or every Inuk win, it's a win for everybody. Every Métis winner, it's all straight across the board.
Yeah.
And I must say, music is definitely medicine, and it is gonna. Hopefully we can cure the pandemic with it, but we can definitely entertain.
We can keep people's minds busy. And even Kathleen Merritt, Iva, tuned in as well. She's an amazing throat singer. Check out her stuff too. There's just so many incredible Indigenous artists out there, and it's great that you're doing this, Rhonda. So thank you so much.
And in parting words, I must say, I really like those red shoes.
I have a few of them.
Those ruby, I prefer. I especially like the ruby reds.
Okay. Nice
just don't have a house fall.
Okay. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And like I said, it's now a podcast, so I'll be putting it out on Indigenous Super Stars podcast, and we're waiting for it to be approved for iHeartRadio, and I'm so excited for that one.
They're awesome.
And my goal is to keep promoting our Indigenous artists and getting them out there, and using this show as a platform to share our beautiful music that we all write and compose.
Well, thanks so much, Rhonda.
Yeah.
And we'll for sure share as much as we can.
Okay, awesome. And some of my upcoming guests are the King of the North, Ernest Monias. So yes. we're trying to get a computer for him or an iPhone so we can do his interview, and Keith Sakola too. So I'm really excited that I reached out to him, and he's happy to come on the show. And also, he's not I don't know if he's a singer, but he's a real famous actor. He's the actor. He acted in Wonder Woman, Eugene Brave Rock. So he's going to be my first actor to be interviewed on this show. And
amazing.
I'm going to be expanding his more. Yeah.
Why not?
Really and fun.
That's amazing. Yeah. We'll be sure to tune in.
Okay. So. Stay safe, stay healthy, and